It is a choice to protect kids.
We can stop child abuse.
You can do something to help. My mom did daycare at our home, and so we would always have 10 of our best friends running around with us and hanging out. I was 7 years old when I was offended by my next door neighbor. He was very important to our family, and at 7 years old, you don't really understand the weight of something like that. You know that it's wrong, but you don't know how it's wrong. I was referred to an organization similar to the Children's Center.
Children's Center provides state-of-the-art services and brings it all together in a very humane and sensitive way.
They advocate for kids, and they're a place where kids can come and tell their story, and that families can get help. Because we know that when kids tell their story, they feel like they're being supported, that there's no longer a secret, that they can go on and start their healing journey at an early age.
By launching the investigation when I was 7 years old, we found out that there were dozens of victims that had been offended by the same person. And by coming forward, it stopped who knows how many other people from being a victim of the same offender. Imagine if my mom didn't have to make that call about somebody hurting her child.
Child abuse occurs at every level and in every community, and it's interesting to me to see how easy it is for us to talk about the most horrific of child abuse cases, the things that you read about in the newspaper and or see on TV. It's much more difficult to talk about the child abuse that occurs much closer to home. Once people can get in touch with that feeling of indignation, we won't allow this to happen in our community, then I think we can have a conversation about how to create a campaign to bring in the tools with which to make sure that not one more child in our community ever is abused.
What the Stewards of Children curriculum does is it trains adults to act responsibly. You're going to learn the facts. You're going to minimize opportunity. You're going to talk about it. You're going to recognize the signs, and you're going to react responsibly. It's a step-by-step process, but it begins with the adults. It begins with education, and it begins with empowering people to say, this is not okay to harm our children anymore. It's not okay.
Once a child is seen at Children's Center, they are beyond needing your sympathy. They need you to step up and to be a leader and a champion to make sure that this never happens again.
To make a social change, it takes 5% of people. That is the tipping point. If 1 in 20 adults has this knowledge about childhood sexual abuse, they can start the movement, helping people recognize that childhood sexual abuse is not okay, that it's an epidemic in our society, but it takes 5%. So how do we start that? Well, it starts with me, it starts with you, it starts with people in this room to be able to make that change. It takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a community to prevent child abuse.
It's time for you to put the power back into the community.
We need to step up and make a change.
If I could do something about this when I was 7, you can do something about this now.